Not me.
It's not me.
We're live.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
We are live.
Oh,
I don't know.
Merry
We're
Christmas.
live, but we were actually trying to not be live because one of us has an echo in our house, and we don't know who it is.
Not me.
Somebody step up.
Not it.
I don't
Not
think
it?
it's me. It's not me.
Oh.
I don't know how it could be any of us because we all have earbuds in and we all have microphones.
Well, wait. Make sure that your your earphones are actually working. And
Yeah,
your speaker's
I'm
not
good.
on at the same time.
sound.
Because
No, I
just
know
did that.
mine work. I use them every day at work. So.
Yeah,
Mine work.
right now, Kyla. Take one of your earbuds out and see if you can still hear you on the speaker thingy. Can you still hear yourself?
I can. No, not at all.
Weird.
I don't know. Okay, well, it's not that big a deal. Hopefully it'll go away, and hopefully it's not me. I just don't want to be the bad one. Anyway, welcome, even though I have the elf ears. Welcome to Vaginal Fantasy, everybody. If you're confused about what's going on, join the club. Every two people always are confused. This is a romance book club where we read a book every month. We discuss it on the Goodreads forum, on Twitter, etc., and then us hosts come together and discuss it once a month in this monthly hangout. We also have an alt book that I did a vlog for this month. You guys, did you see that?
Yeah.
It
It was awesome.
I can't believe you did 8 minutes. That was.
I just kept
Oh.
talking.
Mine was 2 minutes.
No, 2 minutes is fine. I just went off, and I was feeling under the weather, so I'm like, I'm ranting. It's fine. I'll just keep it. No guilt. But it was an interesting book. But this month, we have a different book, but let's round up and introduce all our hosts first. Veronica Belmont.
Belmont. Or
Aw.
Belmont's Incorporated, my soon-to-be-established doggy daycare center. No, that's a joke. Maybe not a joke. Hi, how's it going? I tried to buy eggnog today because I thought I would be festive with the holiday stuff. Found out that they don't sell eggnog after Christmas, apparently, at any of the stores near my house. So I'm just going back to the regular old Vaginal Fantasy red wine goblet of deliciousness. So that was too bad. And then I was going to make homemade eggnog, but I didn't have heavy cream, and you really need the heavy cream. You can't just use 2% milk. It's
No,
not the same.
don't tell me it's made out of cream. I just deny it. It's just thicker milk.
It's just-
Does cream freak you out?
No, the idea that I'm drinking cream is probably not very, healthy.
No.
So I just deny it and say, for some reason, some of the spices just thicken up the regular milk that's totally not fattening.
Oh,
Yeah.
but the fatty milk is healthier for you than the skim milk.
Is
That's
it really?
garbage. Oh,
Science
yeah, way
says
healthier.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Just as long as you don't. I mean, condensed milk is what's in Thai iced tea, and that's not necessarily good for you.
Right.
And-
What? I
oh.
love it.
Felicia
I know.
loves that. I know that about her.
I love it. Why is it not good for you, Bonnie?
Because it's sugary, and it's just. Hey, you know what? If you're on a certain diet that allows for like an Atkins type thing, I'm sure you're fine.
All right. I'm
Just
not on
pretend,
that.
Just pretend that cavemen all drank Thai
It's
tea,
good protein.
and then it's paleo. That's how that
All right.
works. Yeah.
Shout out to Google Hangouts before we go on and introduce the rest of our thing. We actually have chat next to our window this month. Who knows next month, but hey, we can interact over there and on Twitter with the hashtag Vaginal Fantasy. Bonnie Burton, our second host. Hi.
Hello.
Introduce yourself and what you're drinking.
I am drinking 2 different drinks because it's really cold in San Francisco in my apartment, and if I turn on my heater, it'll all turn black and everything will go wonky. So I'm drinking a hot toddy out of my Buffy mug with Bullet bourbon.
That's what I was going to make. Oh, I forgot.
Toddy, but I'm also drinking out of my Spider-Man glass. I'm drinking fresh brewed cold coffee with Kahlua.
Mm.
I don't have any caffeine in my system, so unless you guys want me to pass out, I have to have both. So.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a double load, Bonnie. By the
It
end,
is.
you're going to be singing Christmas carols in Esperanto.
I will. Or maybe I may be singing Elvish because I just backed a Kickstarter to learn Elvish, so I'm going to learn Elvish. So maybe,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. So maybe next Vaginal Fantasy I'll do it slightly in Elvish or Drunken Elf. I don't know.
Drunken Elvish is like what we need for January, February. I don't know. I'm kind of drunk because I'm drinking a ginger ale and dark rum that I got in Jamaica 2 years ago. This is strong.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, I love it when you drink rum.
I do too.
I do too. Anyway, Kiala Kazebee, introduce yourself and tell everybody what you're drinking.
I'm
Kitty.
drinking kittens.
Oh my God, so
I'm-
cute.
Oh, look at him. That's what I'm drinking.
Introduce us to your co-host. Who is this person?
This is Tiberius. Say hi. Hi. Okay. All right. That's enough. So he's not good on. He's shy. So that was Tiberius, and I'm drinking. I don't drink, so you guys know me. You know how I don't like alcohol.
Wait,
so
what?
I'm drinking juice mixed
So
with vodka.
basically, you're drinking a giant glass of denial.
I'm drinking some juice with some vodka and ice.
Nice. What kind of juice?
It's like a mango.
Ooh,
Yeah.
tropical.
Yeah, it's yummy.
Wow.
It's yummy, and
Me gusta.
I'm still celebrating the holidays behind me.
Yay! Look at
Yay!
you. We're so festive.
I still have my tree up, but every time I walk in, I'm like, screw you, tree. I don't want to have to take you down, but I want you to disappear right now with no effort.
Yeah, they should have some sort of service for that. All I know is that every time that all the trees are discarded outside, my dog does her annual peeing on the Christmas trees. So it's kind of a tradition.
It is her right and privilege to do so.
It's her Christmas peas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it makes like the trees are still being loved.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm glad that we're here. We're still like eking out Christmas. Although today I felt like, oh, it's going to be a New Year. So we kind of we're having our hangout today on the hump day after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year. So thanks. This is like the last of this festive spirit. Our book this month was an anthology series featuring werewolves and Christmas, and then some romance. Oh yeah. I know it wasn't.
It was romance light again.
It was very romance light. It was called Wolfsbane and Mistletoe, and I guess we'll just have to go through each story. And we don't really have a description this month, but we do have a cover. And again, there's no boobs or chest on this, so this is kind of a straightforward, non-romancy pick. So next month, hopefully there's some racy stuff in that one. I don't know.
I feel like this is the book you could have taken home to the family Christmas and no one would judge you.
Yeah. I mean, what was? I guess we'll go. Okay, let's go down the line. Let's try to be a host before my dark room kicks in, and go down the line and say what generally we liked about it, and then we'll start diving into the specific stories, the themes. We'll take questions from, I guess, the Google chat next to our video, and also using the hashtag Vaginal Fantasy. So we'll be manning both those places for questions and comments about the books and all that stuff. Kyla, why don't you start? What did you think of this anthology?
I hated it. I'm sorry. It was so bad. It was so bad. I wish that I could say something nice about it, but I can't. And so it was just terrible. It was like, I felt like I was in the 5th grade, and even in the 5th grade, still hating it. I am sorry. So that's my feeling. Do you want me to be more specific? I can be more specific, but I figured I'd wait.
We'll go into our favorite and our least favorite, and themes. Okay, no, it's totally fine. That's totally fine. Bonnie, what was your opinion?
So I actually like anthology books because I feel like there's always at least one story you like, and then there's always one story you really hate. So if you're the type of book reviewer on Goodreads that really likes to just trash a book in a review and get excited, you can do that with this, or you could also say, hey, there's at least one story that I liked. So I feel like with anthologies, it's kind of like a dim sum of stories where there's going to be those creepy chicken feet, but then there's going to be like the really good lemon tart. So I don't know if people like chicken feet. I'm sorry if I just ruined chicken feet.
It doesn't taste good.
Yeah. So
objectively, that's just my opinion.
I know. I went to dim sum once with Will Wheaton and a bunch of people from Woodstock, and I remember Will looking at it saying, I feel like dim sum is just a giant dare. It's just, I dare you to eat that. I dare you to eat that. I mean, unless it's part of your culture, then it's just food. But for the rest of us scared people that don't know what to eat, then anyway, I digress. I liked a couple of the stories in the book, and when we go down the line and talk about the different stories, I'll go into more detail. But there were some that were really stupid, and there are some. I mean, I'll just leave you with one phrase that I'm really glad that there was one story with rescue dogs.
Yes.
So that I was all about that. So,
Yeah.
I'm very pro werewolf in all my fiction, and I think I've said in Vaginal Fantasy before, when I'm bored with a normal book, I pretend one of the main characters is a werewolf just to spice it up. So I liked a lot of the stories in this. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm starting to get a little bit more timid in my appreciation of romance books. I don't need like hot, dirty, like werewolves humping to make me happy.
It would make you happy, but you don't have to have it.
It would. I don't have to have it. Sometimes I like the romance, and I don't need to have the werewolf sex.
Okay.
Feel free to quote me on that.
Well, I made a list because I think I always find that everything kind of blurs together, and it's hard to remember each one. So I did I will go through each story, and if we don't remember it, we don't remember it. But I'll just try to prompt you, and if you can't remember, whatever. I mean, we're all kind of drunk, so. But Veronica, what did you think of the book?
I also was not a huge fan of this particular anthology. I think it was very, I get that it was supposed to be, it is a werewolf story, and it is also a Christmas story, but some of them were so just, like, beating you over the head with the Santa crap, and, like, I had a few favorites, though. I really liked the one, as Bonnie mentioned, with the protector trainee dogs, the guy that had, he trained dogs as home protection dogs, and I liked that story a lot, and I liked the one with the guy, the essay story, the one where he, like, been to the doctor. I was, like, really riveted by that one right away. I'm like, what is going on here? And then there were just a lot of really cute lines in that particular story. And then I think was it the second to last one? I think it was Milk and Cookies, the one where they eat the bully in the end. I thought that one was interesting. I didn't really know where that one was going to go. But otherwise, yeah, they were just, there were some real stinkers in this one. It was too bad because I really like Charlene Harris. I've read all of the Sookie Stackhouse novels. I like her writing style. And I liked the first story, her story, in this anthology as well. Didn't love it, though. And I was kind of like, all right, well, nothing really too steamy happened. I'm not really sure how this fits into the rest of the Sookie novels, if at all. And just it was comforting to start with a world that I was already familiar with, but then everything after that just kind of was like a roller coaster of terrible and mediocre with some sprinkles of bright spots in between.
Yep. Okay, yeah, we'll go into that particular story right after I express my opinion. I think I said last time when we did the Cthulhu anthology that I don't like short stories particularly. I like to really invest in, like, say, 8 to 10 novels in a world, so it's the opposite of what I enjoy. Also, like I said, it sort of blends together, and I think that in comparing this to the Cthulhu Erotica book, that was a much more interesting anthology in that there were so many different themes and things that people dealt with, and I think reading about 12 of these in a row, I started getting so tired of the werewolf tropes, even though it was not one author's fault. It just got like everybody's sort of reinventing the werewolf wheel over and over again to the point where you're like, I get it, you know, the pack dynamic is there's always an alpha, like whatever.
Right.
So I think that sort of counted against the authors because they were constrained with the theme. Also, if all of them had been incredibly naughty and sexy, at least, you know, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I would have been at least like, okay, that was fine to read, you know. But a lot of people, you know, they weren't even romantic. Like, some of them were not romantic, and in that regard, I kind of started zoning out. Like, okay, deep werewolf, whatever. I did like a couple of the stories. Charlene Harris, I liked the writing in that. There were a couple other series, like the The kitty one, the one about the DJ.
Yeah, I liked that. That actually made me think I would like to maybe read that series.
Exactly.
Or get into that. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That one was pretty good too.
Yeah, so there are a couple. Anyway, we'll get to them. But in general, I didn't love the anthology, and I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start going down the line. The first anthology was Gift Wrap by Charlaine Harris, as you said, and I guess the summary of this one for me would to prompt you guys would be Sookie's grandpa got her laid.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So gross.
That is perfect.
It was such an elaborate scheme too. It was so like.
Yeah. It wouldn't make any sense at all.
Everybody try to describe. Like, Kyla, go. What really happened? Like, you can't. Go. Just.
You can't. That's it.
That's it. It's like, okay, it's just like an episode of True Blood. She's gonna rescue a guy, and then he's part werewolf and part fairy, and then the stuff. But then it turns out that her grandpa just wanted her to have a happy Christmas, which means that she got to bone a fairy.
Was he just like, I can't remember what his reasoning was. He was like, oh, I know humans like this stuff, or I know she's kind of into having sex with everyone she bumps into.
Right.
And I can't remember exactly what the impetus for this whole plan was, like, from Niall.
Because he's not Christian, so that means that he went, like, really far in the other direction. Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a weird one. But she's so cute. I just love Sookie so much. I think she's awesome. So
I actually liked it, and I was kind of relieved that Eric and Bill weren't in it, because I get so irritated with that thing. But then I'm just like, the twist at the end where Grandpa's like, I mean, what?
I know. I don't know of anything that kills my lust level more than a grandfather trying to pimp me out.
Yeah.
At least we didn't find that out until the end. At least it was like the chaser.
I know, but it's like, if you're going to get it, I would, there's so many other gifts I would want from my grandfather, not sex.
Socks
instead of sex.
Gift certificate.
Yeah.
It sounds similar, and grandparents are, hard of hearing. And so maybe
that must be it. She asked for socks, and she got
sex.
So she said she wanted warm flannel socks, not warm flannel sex.
Yeah. Oh,
I could be into that. I could be into that.
Mm-hmm.
Warm flannel sex.
We figured it out.
Did anybody finish True Blood and finish the book series and compare the two? Because I kind of bailed. I bailed before I finished either of them.
I bailed on the show.
I finished the show. I never read the books.
I read all the books and never watched the show.
See, I read half the books and then got into the show, but then the show irritated me, so I only liked a few characters on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the show was too bloody for me. I know I'm such a pussy, but it was like it's too graphically bloody for me, like violent. I don't do well with that. Although now that I've watched Game of Thrones and all of Dexter, I really should just man up and lady up. I should Veronica up and watch that show.
I really liked it, but I hated it. I don't think it was it season 2 in the middle of it. I just hated all those the people at the camp, the Christian, and then I also hated the fairy woman. I didn't get her deal, and I was like, I don't understand you. I can't watch this anymore.
I liked all of that.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, for those of you who like to watch adult films, the True Blood porn parody is actually pretty good. It actually has more plot points from the book than the TV show.
That drove me crazy too. I hate when things diverge too much. Because especially if I love the book series, when things branch away too much, I get like, oh, why are they doing that? How is that gonna affect the storyline down the way? I don't know what's gonna happen with these characters. That's what I turn into. So.
Is the Outlander series pretty faithful to the books?
Oh yeah, so far, totally, yeah.
Because that's coming out, second season.
Mm-hmm. When does that come out? Soon. Like, I want to say January, but maybe. Yeah, I think it is in January. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind on that series. It's all on my DVR. Okay, second episode.
Short story.
The second short story. Okay, so universally that was kind of, and I think on the forum a lot of people did say that was one of their favorites. So thumbs up.
And also, I think it's interesting that they started off the anthology with that because of the author. I think because Harris is so well known. And
Well, she edited it also.
Yeah.
She was one of the editors of the anthology.
That's
did.
why most people
That
picked up this book was for that story. So.
Yeah.
Also, Adrienne Jones brings up a good point. She was annoyed that it skipped all the sexy times. And it's true. All these books, all these short stories universally were very PG. Like, there was nothing. There was nobody even got undressed, which is, I guess, was a mandate probably, but maybe one of the reasons why we were like
super young adult, and I'm not a young adult.
no.
I'm an old ass lady. Old ass women.
Okay, book number 2 or whatever. The Hare and the Beast. The Hare and the Beast by Donna Andrews.
So,
Oh, so bad. It was so bad.
It was terrible.
So if I could sum it up in 2 words, and I think quite a few other people on the forums said this as well, it was a little too revengey. And
I mean, it was straight up mean. Like, that was some
I'm gonna say
shit to pull
revengey.
on someone.
Yeah, revengey's a word now. We're just
Unless somebody murders your own dog or like assaults you, you don't turn him into a dog for eternity. I mean, that's murder.
Yeah.
She's a murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, I could see, I just watched John Wick, and I would love if that had happened. Like, he turned all of the mafia into dogs. That would have been awesome because of what they did to his.
Wait, I haven't seen it.
It's in the trailer. It's pretty obvious in the trailer. I'm not spoiling it.
Okay,
If you see the trailer, I'm not spoiling
Yeah,
it.
you didn't spoil it. That's the only thing in the movie, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say that, it just seemed a little, the short story just seemed, I don't know, it was a little too mean. It's lost the Christmas spirit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright, so that one was terrible. Why would we even bother? Who cares? It was dumb.
Okay. Okay.
It was like a lost opso. What? Why? I mean, why?
Did you like it, Kyla? Did you like
No.
that story? Oh.
No, I hated it. I thought it was the stupidest thing. I was like, that's it? And that's the story?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, okay, guys, I'm going to go against the grain here, and I was kind of like, at least, she woke me up. I was like, oh, wait, she's going to go do what?
That's
and that's
true.
it? So at least I was, like, bold. I mean, I kind of, I really kind of wanted to see her go off and do a whole book of just being awful. Just like, this character don't care. She don't care.
Yeah.
She will take the world down.
Yeah, it felt like there was more of a world there. I felt like there could have been more of a... I will give it that the world building in that short story, I got a sense of a larger world there, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely one of the best ones.
I'll give it that.
Aspects of it.
I would read it if it was like a full book and there was actual sex in it. I would read it.
Mm-hmm.
But as a short story, it was a little...
What are you doing, Kyla? What are you?
I'm looking at the book going, really? You thought that was one of the best ones?
No, I thought it was one of the worst short stories, but I thought it had one of the better examples of potential world building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to be generous with the Christmas spirit here in our reviews.
I feel like such an asshat too, because...
So if any of the authors are watching this, hey, good job on getting something published, but if we don't like your story, it doesn't mean we don't like you.
I know.
It's
Someone
true.
somewhere is doing a podcast about one of my short stories right now. I can feel it just like stabbing into my eyeball.
it.
Like I can feel it. I just know.
I do want
karma.
to say on a side note, and I think this was a Sword and Laser video, having authors read their 1-star reviews of their own books.
That was brilliant.
It was not a Sword and
That's
Laser. We
awesome.
shared it, but yes, those are all. We've had every one of those authors on the show before, so it was especially cool and funny.
I love that. So
Hilarious.
Yeah. So if any of you want to see authors actually reading their own 1-star reviews of fans that gave them bad reviews of, you should check it out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, number 3, Lucy at Christmas Time by Simon R. Green, who I've actually read several books of. He says more not romance, but more urban fantasy, kind of Jim Butchery, and I've enjoyed his work in the past. I did not love this one, but at least he was trying to do something artsy. I will give him that one. So he's in a bar. Can anybody summarize this one? Does anybody remember?
I was confused by it, so I feel like my summary is going to ruin it for people.
I think I could do it.
Okay, go.
So he's in a bar. It's Christmas time. He doesn't want anybody to bother him. People know not to bother him. He just wants to hang out with Lucy, his love, and
Turns out he ate her.
And then, turns out you never
Ate her.
first, and you're like, oh, your first love. No, your first person you eated. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So was
I
Lucy,
eated it.
was Lucy his first love or his appetizer?
Both.
Oh,
Both.
Oh. Yeah.
first course.
First course. There you go. First course.
The one thing I did like about this, I'm a sucker for a supernatural bar. And remember Grave Witch, one of our very first fantasy book, Grave Witch, had a great setting in that series where there was a bar that was like a halfway between fairy and here.
And it was dangerous, right?
Yeah,
it was
very
like a dangerous bar.
Yeah,
Yes,
I remember that.
I like that too.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I could say about the story.
And that's one of the things I always look for whenever I'm watching a new sci-fi or fantasy series or reading a new comic or book that has that element. I always want there to be that weird Star Wars cantina or that weird karaoke bar like in Buffy, or it's just I always like a bar. I always like a bar with like vampires and werewolves and fairies and everybody hanging out. And to me, it seems like that was kind of a trope that almost every book and movie had at some point. I think even Constantine had that, where all the demons hung out at one bar. And I just love that idea. I'm glad they're no longer raves.
I think Constantine just hangs out at every bar.
Yeah, well, that's true. But in the movie Constantine, they had a bar with all the demons. But I'm just glad it's now back to bars and not raves. Because it used to be, hey, let's have a vampire werewolf rave in every vampire movie. And I was just like, raves are gone, people. Let it go.
True.
Vampires
are having tea right now. They've moved on. They're hipsters. They're having Chemex poured blood. All right.
Right.
So.
I feel like if you're a vampire, you're super elderly because you've lived for hundreds of years. The last thing you want to do is hang out at high school or a rave. Like I would go to a wine bar.
Yeah, nice wine bar.
Yeah, a library or a reading room with alcohol.
Like a whiskey bar that is actually serves blood.
Burton and Branch or something like they have here in the city.
Oh, even that's too loud. That's too noisy.
It is.
Too much, guys. Too much.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, I digress because I'm drinking.
No, that's good. We all are drinking. It's Christmas.
I have that same mug. Oh, we've talked about this. Sorry.
Wait, what?
We've talked about this on another episode that Bonnie and I have the same mug.
Oh, right, the Buffy mug. Oh, I do want to point out, because this is getting commented on Twitter, I noticed, those are boob pillows that I made. They're not pancakes with pink butter. They're actually boobs, and my dog is now nestled between them. So
it's adorable. She's like,
that's a penis pillow, and that's a lumpy pillow that I'll probably give Veronica from Adventure Time.
No.
Really cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
I want to point out the phallic symbols behind me so people just would stop tweeting about it.
Okay. Next is one I had a hard time remembering, but The Night Things Changed by Dana Cameron. And the only thing I could kind of vaguely remember is that there's a brother-sister vampire werewolf situation.
So this was interesting because it flipped it made an attempt to flip conventions around on their heads. So in this one, the vampire Claudia is the sister of the werewolf, and so I guess if you're born supernatural, you can end up as a werewolf or a vampire, and vampires recharge in the sunlight, so she likes to lay out in the sun all the time, never gets cold, and all the supernatural folk in this world do good, like they protect. They're sworn from their ancestors to protect the world from evil. And then they find out that there is actually an evil werewolf that's attacking people. And so his whole worldview is all screwed up all of a sudden. And that's kind of the whole story.
Yeah.
Yes, I vaguely remember that.
I kind of like this one better than the other ones. Just a little bit. Just because they turned the tropes upside down. But then there were, there were the Buffy references. It was a little lame. Not that, I love Buffy, but but it was super obvious. And then so that wasn't great. But I did like that they changed the idea and how upsetting it was that there could be an evil werewolf. You know, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and also I liked the idea that there was a brother-sister relationship, which you rarely see in these genres. You just don't really see it at all. There's one that Charlaine Harris wrote a series on the brother-sister, and it was weirdly incesty, and I was like, ooh. Did you ever read those, the Harper and her brother? And I was just like, what is going on with this series?
Yeah.
Creeper-rama, right?
It's a little too Flowers in the Attic for me, so I don't really.
But I love Flowers in the Attic.
I do too. But yeah, all the incest fiction I have to read, that's the one.
Yeah, that one
I agree. At least with this short story, I feel like there was some action. Did you guys feel that way? That it was kind of more action-packed?
Yeah, there was a good fight scene.
Yeah. And
I would read a book in that world.
Bad.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem was there was too much. It was a little over-explainy for a short story. I think that's part of the problem with having a short story is that you have to pack in a lot of information in a very small amount of time. But yeah, I think I liked. Being from the East Coast, having lived in Massachusetts for a long time, I liked the setting. It felt familiar. I could really picture it very well. I would probably read more about these characters, given more room to breathe for them.
And I feel like that's what an anthology is kind of for, right? It's supposed to be a gateway drug for the actual novels that these authors write. So it's supposed to get you excited about possible characters, and then you go on to read their actual novels. Am I wrong in that? I just always assumed that's what anthologies kind of were.
Well, yeah, some people just like short stories. Some people like to read short stories.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Who
I don't know.
are those people?
You what? Wait, what happened?
Wait, what, Hyla? What kind of what?
Maybe they want to spread their wings, or start different.
That's a good point, because there's wasn't there there's a George R.R. Martin anthology, I think, that came out.
Oh, the one about the cards.
And then
did you read that? I was going to get that.
The cards?
Yeah. It's good. And then the Dungeons and Dragons one that just came out, that Felicia did one of the audiobook stories for.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool, too. And that was she did.
And the Sword and Laser anthology was excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. You know what? I think we should do a vaginal fantasy anthology. I'm just putting that out there again.
I would love it.
We all could write something, and we could invite our favorite writers to be in it too. I'm just going to put that.
I
like how Veronica's like, no more.
Yes.
She knows actually how much work it was.
I love it.
Well,
maybe we'll warm it up with like a NaNoWriMo challenge where we all write a short story instead of a whole freaking novel.
Yeah,
and then that'll be like our dipping our toe into it. What about that?
That sounds good.
Well,
and we don't have to actually compile it anywhere. We'll use Wattpad or something to upload it. No work.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to scare Veronica with more work.
I was more scared of having to write another short story.
Oh. I want to read another short story of yours.
I want to read Veronica's short story.
Me too.
Also, it could just be sexy times. That's the good thing about romance. You could just fill it up with no plot. It's great.
Here's the thing. We've all read so many books and main picks and alt books from this club alone, and not all of them have been great stories and great writing. So I feel like that's actually encouraging me to write, because I feel like, well, if these people can be published and fans, then surely I can write something. So
and speaking...
Yeah, it's actually encouraging.
Speaking of authors we have read in the past, the next short story, The Werewolf Before Christmas, was Kat Richardson, who wrote the Grey Walker series.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Right, yes.
And what did you think of that?
Sadly, it was terrible.
Oh, no, you didn't like it?
It was very bad.
Hated this one. It made me so sad, because I was really looking forward to it because I really liked Kat Richardson, and I thought it was going to be cool, but man, I just did not. It was one of the ones that was just hitting you over the head with the Santa stuff and the Rudolph and
God, the wolf, and he's like, oh, and now I have to. He ate Rudolph.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense. I mean, I have to agree. This was one of the ones, and I love Kat Richardson's writing. So whatever. You win some, you lose some. This one was not good.
I guess I liked it because, and I know this is going to sound like I might be a serial killer. I swear I'm not. But whenever I watch the claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Christmas special, claymation doesn't look like clay to me. It looks like all the characters are delicious and edible and so
Gingerbread Nation.
Yeah, every time I watch it, I'm like, I bet Frosty and Rudolph and all the, I bet they taste so good. They look like little marshmallow characters, and maybe I'm always hungry when I'm watching it. But
okay, quick question, Bonnie. Okay, if you were in an alternate dimension where they were actually right in front of you, would you?
But they were clay or real?
Yeah, they were made out of clay. Would you pull off one of their legs and eat it while they screamed?
I would. I totally would. It's like that Simpsons episode when Homer goes to the world of chocolate and he bites the butt of
he eats everything.
And the rabbit's screaming, and like everything is screaming, but he's still eating it because it's chocolate. I'm Homer in that situation.
Yeah.
I don't, unless it's like a cute dog.
It's just like you see a cute thing and you want to put it in your mouth anyway.
Right.
I feel the same way. I mean, I feel the same way about babies. Babies look edible. They smell horrible.
I try to eat my dog's ears all the time. I just try to like.
Yeah, I think the only thing keeping us from eating babies is that they smell bad. But they look like they would taste.
Babies look like they totally taste like Peeps.
Yeah.
I wish they made Peeps in the shape of small babies, like king cake.
Baby Peeps.
Like jelly babies.
I would, yes.
The name of our World of Warcraft guild was I Eat Babies.
Oh, sweet.
And Blizzard made us change it.
What if they were like little baby Peep feet? Like little baby feet and Peeps.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to say that twice. All right.
So when Rudolph got eaten, I was totally okay with that. And I actually like venison, so I don't know.
All right. Well, universally, not our favorite. No. Fresh Meat by Alan Gordon. This one was one of my favorite. Not only because of the writing, the concept, the execution, but I loved the murder in it. So this one, okay. So I'll try to synopsize this one. You're dropped in this world of this kind of uptight, weird sort of dog trainer, and he rescues dogs and turns them into attack dogs, right?
I don't think he was uptight. I thought
he was very precise. There was definitely there's a mystery. Yes,
you have to be to train dogs, let me tell you.
Okay. Well, you know more about this, so actually, okay, I'll just describe it, and then Veronica, you take it home.
Because over as we're talking about this, my dog is totally into
rolling in boobs. Anyway. So he locks up very precisely at a certain time every month, and he cages himself. And it turns out, and we're flashing out to this relationship that he really loved, but he couldn't sustain because he had this mystery. Why do you lock yourself up, and where have you been? Blah blah blah. And he has to cover it up. Turns out he's a werewolf. But not only that, there's a creepy guy outside stalking him who's a werewolf murderer. And he doesn't only just murder the werewolves; he paralyzes them, and then chops them into pieces while they're still alive because his brother or some other person he was related to, sister was murdered by a werewolf. So he's a serial killer, werewolf murderer with a bunch of friends. Of course, you think he's going to die. The other dogs telepathically communicate with each other and come and save his ass. And then he gets together with a lady, and they eat all the bad guys, and it's like, that's the story.
That's my favorite story in the whole book. It's my favorite story. Yeah.
I think it was also probably mine, because I think it's what I want. I think it was like, in my perfect world, I would be like the alpha of a pack of dogs. And like I could go to the dog park and all the dogs would like be able to talk to me telepathically and we could just have a lot of fun. And I don't know, this sounds stupid, but I really like dogs.
It doesn't sound stupid, and I actually think that would be true. In my experience with you as a friend, Veronica, I think that you would be the alpha in a pack of dogs.
You would be.
Yeah.
You totally would. And I like that idea a lot, too. Except for I don't telepathically want to hear all dogs because they're just going to yell squirrel in my ear.
All they do is like, ball.
I'm a dog. I'm a dog.
Dog. Hello, are you friendly? No, me. Friendly.
It would be like going to a bar in the Marina District on a Friday night. It would be dogs and frat boys. Like they kind of have the same. I don't know. But anyway, I will say that I've always had that like fantasy that I would turn into a werewolf. And then I would go down to where they do dog fighting and just kill all the humans and then settle the dogs.
That's amazing. We should have a follow-up sequel to this one and have that happen.
Like, I would rather rescue dogs that are abused, but I'm like a werewolf. So I'm like a dog rescuer, but I also like I'll run like a dog rescue village with Veronica, and Veronica and I could both be werewolves, and we can save battered dogs and then eat the humans that hurt the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something.
Okay.
Right, and I'm unfamiliar with this this writer's work, so I forget what they said that he wrote. Alan Gordon. But I would definitely pick up something else that he wrote based on said work because I'm going to look it up.
Yeah,
me too. Yeah, I'm down with it.
So yeah, I think that was probably my favorite story also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
right. I like that one all right.
Kyla, what did you think about it?
I liked it okay. I guess that it just got buried under all the other ones that I hated so much.
You were hate reading this whole thing. You're like,
that was the face I made the whole time.
He does historical mysteries, the first of which is based on the characters from William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. He's also a lawyer with the Legal Aid Society, and he's written the libretto for several musicals, including the Girl Detective.
Wow.
Oh
Okay.
my God!
That's our new favorite guy.
Yeah.
Alan Gordon.
Guild Mysteries. Yeah, that sounds really fun. I want to read that.
Me too. I'm down.
All right. Anyway, well there you go. See that? I think the whole anthology might be worth that.
Yeah, it's all redeemed because of that one story, and now we found a new author. Except for Kyla, who wants to burn this book.
She wants to burn him and his dogs.
Burn it down.
No, I liked that one.
Okay. The next one.
She's a cat person.
I love dogs.
Ilene.
I don't remember this one. I don't even remember this story.
This is the kitty, the radio DJ one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, basically it's by Carrie Vaughn, and it stars her continuous character. It's basically like the Stookie Stackhouse one. So Kitty is a radio DJ, and she's also a werewolf. And she stumbles into a diner, and there's a very disturbed-looking young man there, and they go together to investigate a murder that he may or may not have done. And I really like the writing in this, and I'd always avoided the Kitty Norville or something like that. I forget her last name, the character, but I've always avoided this series because I'm like, a DJ? Come on. But I'm going to actually read this series now because that's her story. What did you guys think?
I liked this one. This is probably in my top 2 or 3 stories in the book also. She was just really a likable character, though it was kind of a little Mary Sue-like, I think, maybe we just don't know enough about this character, but she was just flawed enough, but she was also just perfect in so many ways, and I went to school for audio radio, so for me, I was like, ooh, tell me more about your career. But yeah, it was cute. It was a cute story. I liked it, and I like that she kind of took charge and told him what to do and kind of fix the situation too, and then they both got to, screw some people up later.
Yeah. I will say, though, I have to say this really quickly because I just looked at our Twitter to see if anyone had any questions about the story, and everyone is horrified that I mentioned that I thought babies look like they should be eaten. I don't actually eat humans. So
no, they're being too sensitive.
Nobody thought that.
I don't actually, I don't eat people.
We all said we wanted to eat babies. We all said it.
I would not eat human. I don't care what kind of gourmet 12-step sort of, 12-course kind of thing there is.
No.
We don't actually want to eat babies.
If I can't eat chicken legs, I'm not going to eat people legs. So I think we're good.
Yeah. Bonnie does not want to eat babies.
I don't. I really don't. I don't want to have them. And as my gynecologist told me a month ago, because you're too old. So I don't want to have them. I don't want to eat them.
I'm too old.
I don't want to have them running around in my house like a little baby farm. I don't need babies. I'm good with dogs, and that's it. I'm good with dogs. So in conclusion, I don't eat humans. I like to hang out with puppies.
Thank you for clarifying. Question. There's a really good question from the chat. If we were a dog, what breed would we be?
Someone just said I was an Irish setter. I don't know how to take that.
That's a good dog.
That's a good dog.
Yeah, they're smart. They're some smart dogs.
What they say I was? I would be a Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
You get to be Doge?
You get to be Doge. What would I be?
I get to be Doge.
Did anybody say what I would be? No, nobody cares.
Somebody's
I
a
feel
German
like,
Shepherd.
I feel like you would be like a smaller, maybe a Shire dog, maybe like maybe a Greyhound. Sleep
Oh,
like a
or
Greyhound.
what about like an Australian Shepherd?
Yeah.
They're little. I don't know if you're that hyperactive.
No,
Yeah.
not.
They're pretty
really
hyperactive.
not.
Yeah.
More like a
I-
really lazy lab. I think is what. That's me.
You actually have the Irish Setter locks, because Irish Setters have like
really good
reddish
hair.
Yeah, they have great hair.
Yeah. I mean,
So
you
you have
about-
great hair.
You
No,
have to
that's
think of
not
your
wavy.
personality. Think of your personality too. Like if you like people a lot, you'd probably be a breed that's really into people. And then if you're kind of standoffish,
I don't like people a lot. Do you think I'd be a chow?
maybe a Chihuahua or
I think you'd be an Afghan. You'd be an Afghan. I think a lot of people are saying that. I agree with you, Kyla.
Yeah.
Afghan. Long.
Afghan. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, I can agree with that. I guess I'd be a mutt. I don't know. I was raised with dogs, and some relatives think I was raised by dogs. So and we always had Malamute wolf mixes. So, but I'm not
Malamute?
I'm not like a Alaskan Husky Malamute mix.
I can see you be a French Bulldog, Bonnie.
Really?
Oh,
Wow, that's fancy.
yes.
No, because
Okay.
they're the cutest. They're literally
They're
the
so
cutest.
cute. I could
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
They are super cute.
I mean, I'm
most
pro
cute.
pit bull. I'm pro pit bull, but pit bulls are actually more into hanging out with humans than I am. So
I could see you as a black and I could see you as a black and white pit bull or French bulldog.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're talking dogs, then I guess I could be the black and white dog that Will Wheaton and Anne have.
Oh, Seamus.
Seamus.
Yeah.
I'll be Seamus instead of Marlowe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be a black lab.
I like how we could just compare ourselves to our friends' pets. That's pretty much the best.
Okay,
way.
so Veronica's a black lab, even though people say she's an Irish setter. And then I'm an Afghan
Yeah, because of beautiful hair.
with thank you. And then
Veronica being a
Felicia-
Doberman.
No, I changed my mind. I think I'm a German Shepherd.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
Totally
about
be-
black lab.
Oh,
They're a
like,
little
yeah. German Shepherd. Oh, I love German
Oh,
Shepherds.
yeah.
I'd be a German Shepherd.
I
They feel
think-
technical. They feel
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
They
They're
do.
technical.
They're
They could
techy.
open a door like that.
Yeah.
An
Yeah.
Irish setter would be like, I don't know.
I don't
know you guys.
I don't know how to get in there.
Like, can you open it for me? Like, I kind of smell like maybe there's treats on the other side of that door. So,
I
could you, like, be a sweetheart and open the door for me?
Because I totally just did my paws.
Like, I just got my paws done. They look fab.
I
Oh
got
my God.
special
We've
tips.
derailed. This show is derailed.
Squirrel!
Okay. Anyways, and then Felicia,
Okay, let's get back on right. Okay, go.
Felicia
Okay,
gets to
next
be
one.
Doge, though. That's very upsetting. But I'm happy about it.
Okay. I get to be Doge because I spoke first because I'm drunk. The Perfect Gift by Dana Stabenow. And I didn't. This one is about Alaska werewolves and the house that burned up, and then I was so confused.
So confusing.
Yeah, it
This
was.
one felt like we were dropped in the middle of a
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
In the middle of a
I
book.
read it twice because I thought I skipped a page.
Yeah.
But it did have the only bit of, like, potential romancy sexiness.
Yeah, that's true.
He did get a boner. There was a boner.
There was a boner.
There was a singular boner.
And he was like, I don't know why I have a boner.
I got a boner. I don't understand. What to do with it?
So basically let's moving on.
Okay.
The perfect gift, a single boner.
Which in essence, I guess, is a perfect gift, depending. Yeah. Okay, Christmas past. I'm just gonna say I love.
The ghosts of boners pass.
Oh man, don't mention Scrooge with a boner. I can't.
Okay, this next
one
one.
was okay. This one was okay.
The next one was Christmas Past by Carrie Arthur, and this one, okay, I will admit, okay, I read a lot of vaginal fantasy, and I've read more in the past, and Carrie Arthur is one of my trashiest special series that I go to.
Really?
She's really trashy and really easy to read, and it's like it's kind of crazy addictive. I keep wanting to pick it for our club, but basically she has a couple of series. One of them is the Riley Jensen series, and she's a werewolf, and she has sex with so many men and she goes into heat, and it's very racy, but in a way that's like, ooh, you don't feel, it's not porny, but it's really racy. Also, she goes to clubs a lot, and she's basically unapologetically sexual and has sex with lots of people, and it comes across fine. So I really enjoyed the writing in this, and I thought it was the most romance of any of the books, even though there wasn't a lot of boning. Yeah, I really liked the writing, and it reminded me to go back and read more of her books because I really like her writing.
I think the chemistry was really believable in this short story too, and I really liked it. And I now that you explained the author to us, I want to read more books by them. Why haven't we read this in Vaginal Fantasy? We should.
I know. I don't know why. I keep wanting to pick it, and maybe we'll get to it. Yeah, she has she has a vampire lover and a werewolf lover, and she just through the book. She shops around a lot, but in a good way. Like it's
around.
It's all very much like this short story. Like it's very romantic and believable, and there's a lot of torment in the relationships, and it's really juicy, like a soap opera. That's kind of what I would say the flavor of this author is, and I think that the flavor of this reflects her writing overall very well.
So that's what's making me wonder. I mean, did they must have put a PG rating on this anthology then?
Yeah, I bet they did.
It's kind of hard. Sometimes it's either full-blown erotica or it's like, hey, we're friends, you know?
Yeah.
Not a lot of...
They were friends.
Veronica disappeared.
We just lost Veronica. We said, hey, we're friends.
What? Okay, Veronica hopefully will be back in a minute. Kiala turned into a very fat reindeer. What's going on?
God. Is that a cat? What is that?
Yes. It's a cat.
Oh, my God.
Where did you get that?
It was like a Christmas gift from my boyfriend's mother.
Wow.
Really cute. Is it one of those squishable things, or
no,
is it just...
but his tongue's just no. She got it at like a secondhand shop or thing, or like a charity shop thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
It's for charity.
So you got a lot of cats for Christmas, didn't you, Kiala?
Oh yeah, I got cat pens. I got everything.
I feel like you're turning into a Kathy comic.
I know. Well, that's my goal.
Well,
Swimsuits.
comic. I mean, at least she seems to be happy at some point.
Yeah.
Should we say real quick what our favorite gift for Christmas while we wait for Veronica to come back, or should we just keep going?
No, we should definitely talk and look at Veronica's kitten more.
Kyla's kitten.
Kyla's kitten. I'm really drunk right now. Kyla's kitten. Bonnie, take it away.
Okay, so for Christmas, I didn't get a ton of gifts. I usually get kind of creepy gifts from friends and relatives that try to mean well. I mean, every once in a while, someone will send me a scale thinking they're helping, or diet books, which is sad that people send me that. But
that's terrible.
Why would somebody do that?
What the heck?
I've had that happen. Trust me. But my Twitter followers, one of my Twitter followers from Ireland sent me a bunch of chocolate and then a tug-of-war toy that looks like a hippopotamus for Sophie. Because Sophie, my dog, wasn't feeling well last month, so he gave me a toy. So that's like my favorite Christmas present. And yeah. Oh, and someone is sending me a Cthulhu vibrator.
Oh.
Like a casual friend or a relative?
Yeah,
or what's
I think it's someone on Twitter that just thought it was funny. I don't think it's like hey, let's have some sexy times. It was like, hey, you like Cthulhu and you do a romance paranormal book club. You'll find this funny. So I think they're sending it to me. So I'll just put it in the background next episode. You guys can try to find it on my bookshelf. But I don't know. I don't know how to read people. Maybe that is a come on.
I mean, I don't know.
Sorry.
Oh,
hey,
My internet's been being wonky all day, and I was worried it was going to crap out on me, and then it did.
Internet.
Hopefully it'll be good for the rest of the day.
I got blue screen of death before we started rolling, so it doesn't
And my laptop is literally being kept together by duct tape, so we never really know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Okay, let's moving on. We waited for you.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Did you have any thoughts? Okay, we already talked about Carrie Arthur. The next one is S.A. by J.A. Conrath. Okay, so does anybody else want to summarize this one? Because this was a very popular one.
Sure. Yes.
This was the basement guy and the guy who pooped things.
So Weston, one day,
Disgusting.
he's been having some tummy troubles. So he goes to the doctor, and he has to provide a stool sample. We've all been there. And so the doctor's like, yeah, so there's a button up here, and there's some other stuff, and this is probably, are you eating things? Are you sleep eating things? And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, I hear an echo real bad again now that I'm back, but it's not me.
I don't know. It might be me, but I don't know how that is. I just checked my computer settings, and nothing's picking up any sound except for...
Could be the new mic somehow.
Let's just pretend it's a ghost of Christmas past.
Okay, but anyway.
Okay.
So, and then he has this awful neighbor that's a was she a gypsy? I think they decided she was a gypsy. And so then she's got this terrible dog. So he gets mad, and he goes to bed, and then he eats her and the dog. And then he realizes he has a problem, so he starts Googling it, and he's like, finds this like secret society, this Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's like, there's a, what is it called? It's like something anonymous. Anyway.
Cannibals Anonymous?
No, it's like Lycanthropes Anonymous or something like that.
Oh, right.
And so he goes to the meeting, and then weirdly, this is where it got kind of weird, Santa and all the Salvation Army are werewolf killers, or lycanthrope, or it's not lycanthrope because that means werewolf, wolf, but there's other kinds of wares. And so that's what the society is about. And there's a furry in the society because her soul is a rhino, a purple rhino. And she's the one who kicks ass in the end and kills Santa, who's evil and has claws, Satan's claws.
Oh.
And I thought I thought this one had like the best lines in it. It had some really funny. I actually highlighted one of my favorite lines, if I can find it here. Let's see.
I do like any story that has Santa being evil. That's always been my perception of that guy.
Yeah. Now it's missing. Oh, here it is. Okay, so he calls the secretary, and he's talking to the woman on the phone for the society, and he goes, so what are you exactly? Are you a werewolf too? I'm a were-squirrel, sir. So when the full moon rises, you turn into a squirrel? Yes. A squirrel with buck teeth, with a big fluffy tail. That's the one. Weston wasn't sure if he was supposed to laugh or not. Do you shrink or stay full size? Full size. And you eat people? No, sir. Not all therianthropes are carnivores. So if you don't mind me asking, what do you do when you change? I hoard nuts. Weston chose his next words carefully. Are they evil nuts?
Oh my God.
Sir, I'm going to put your sarcasm down for you being on the edge of a nervous breakdown, so I'll ignore it. Are you interested in getting help for your therianthropy? I just thought that was funny.
I love any kind of double entendre. And a support group.
Oh, and Adrian says it's Shapeshifters Anonymous.
Oh, that's it.
That's why it's SA. Yeah. Nuts? Are they evil nuts?
But honestly, like that scene, I've been in a couple of support group situations, and that's pretty dead on. So.
Yeah, and they had a were-coral. They had a were-coral. Like the funniest thing, he just basically turned into a giant useless ball of coral.
Oh my God. I love that. That's kind of like the Wonder Twins. I always thought, why would you want to change into a mop in a bucket? Like, I never understood if you're going to shapeshift. Like, every once in a while they would turn into a mop in a bucket to trip up a villain. But it's like, that's what you're going to do, is you're going to just make a slippery floor? So when I heard the were-coral, I was thinking the same thing. Like, that's just, what do you do, attack scuba divers?
Well, he can't choose what he is.
I know, but it's just sad. I mean, how sad would it be if you found out you were like a metahuman, but your power or your werewolf creature was really lame? Like, what if you were like a werewolf cockroach? How sad.
Yeah. Veronica, I turned my stuff off. I think it's you.
I think it's me?
Yeah, because I turned my my camera and my mic off, and it was still echoing when you were talking.
But I don't hear it now. Oh, I do hear it.
I don't know what it is. It's not that bad.
You're haunted. You're haunted.
All right, I'll mute myself, and then you guys. No, it doesn't matter. We don't.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, the next one is The Star of David by Patricia Briggs, and this one was very dramatic. It was about a dad coming to meet his daughter for the first time in like 30 years, and rescuing a foster kid that she found, who turns out to be a wizard actually, and him trying to kind of redeem himself with her. I actually like the writing in this, and I love Patricia Briggs, and I thought it was the most emotional of all of them because it was a really nice story. What did you guys think? Kyla, you loved it.
No. I don't care. About the
Be honest, did you just totally limb this book halfway through when you realized how bad it was?
No. Maybe a little. No, I totally didn't do that. No, I read the whole thing, but I know. I really respect Patricia Briggs. I do. So I was very disappointed by this short story. I didn't think it was very well written.
I thought this would make a good Hallmark Christmas Hanukkah type holiday TV show. Not as good as Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, because we'll never be able to top that one.
Well, no.
Was that good? I didn't see it. Was it good?
I didn't even see it.
Pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. I'll admit I watched that just because I wanted to see Grumpy Cat in a movie. And voiced by Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec.
Right.
But I will say that I liked this story. It was touching. It just wasn't touching the way I wanted it to be touching.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, moving on very quickly through the rest of them. You Better Not Pee Out by Nancy Pickard. The vamps go up to Vamp Santa. They're Russian vampires, and then there's a werewolf woman in the middle of Africa with a bunch of wild dogs. Verdict?
I'm so confused. Oh no, we lost Veronica.
It's confusing.
Oh, you have me. I'm testing my stuff, and
She's testing her stuff.
Okay.
She's testing her stuff.
It was confusing, but I didn't hate this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as I hated the other one.
What did you like about it, Kyla?
No, just wasn't. You know what? It was better. It was better written than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I guess.
I like the vast array of characters was nice. It was definitely not boring.
It wasn't written like for a 10-year-old. Is what I'm saying.
I hated this one more than life.
Really?
I'll just say it. I was like, what's going on? Am I in like a Monty Python sketch? What's going on right now? And then why are we in Africa? Why is Santa Claus in Africa? What's going on with the African dogs? I don't understand.
It was
it was confusing.
That's one of the things that a lot of these stories suffered from is the random factor.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you don't want it to be too trite, but at the same time, it was very strange a lot of the times.
Yeah. All right, next.
Wait, so back up. You don't think Santa should visit Africa, Felicia? That's kind of rude.
No, it just seems so random. It was so weird. Why is it in the middle of a place where a wild dog pack is there? Who's ordering presents there?
I don't know.
Ordering presents?
Do you order presents?
All I remember is the Martians versus Santa Claus movie, and they showed every single. Santa versus Satan. It was Santa versus Satan, and they showed every country was represented as little kids played their national racist theme songs in stereotypical costumes, and Africa was.
I saw that on the theater. I remember.
Yeah, so I feel like Santa's everywhere. It's in this theme song.
It's fine. Okay, moving on. Rogue Elements by Karen Chance.
Okay.
I don't remember this one. I've read a lot of Karen Chance in my life, and she is an author that's very erratic in my world. She's either great or not good.
Rogue Elements, yeah.
Oh, this is the War Mage one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was all right.
It reminded me a little bit too much, I think, of the Kate Daniels series a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a little Kate Daniels-y, but not in a good way. Like
Karen Chance has 2 series. One of them featuring Cassandra, I think is her name, and she was awesome in the beginning, and then she got really dumb toward it, and I stopped reading the series. And then she has another Dampier book, which is a lot darker and grittier, which I really enjoy. And I haven't looked to see if there's a new. So like I said, she's an author who I think is really great sometimes and not so great sometimes, and this one was just okay.
I feel like I like the ones that are just a little bit longer. Like, I like a longer short story. Is that...
Like a novel.
Yeah.
No, like a novella. Like,
Yeah. So for Kyla, size does matter.
yeah, it does.
It
Was this the one? Oh yeah, was this the one with the
I'm having a hard time remembering this one. I don't know
Okay,
why.
no, I remember it now. So this one was the one where this also felt like a much larger story. Was this taken out of the series?
Yeah.
It really felt that way. Because there's like the prostitute wolves, and they steal all the daughters of the alphas, right?
Yeah,
there's the daughters of the alphas get kidnapped.
Strictly pleasure is the...
Yeah, and it turns out to be her boss that has like masterminded the mage that has masterminded all of this. Yeah, so there were some good elements to it, but I think it just felt a little too Kate Daniels to me, and I'm biased with that. So
yeah. It's me. It's not me, guys. The echo's not me. Why? How is it me?
Stop
not shouting.
I swear to God, it's not me either.
Okay, well,
just say it's a ghost.
Is
it's
it me?
Easy to blame. Maybe it's me. I don't think so because I don't hear me, and I have headphones on.
But I hear fan. I hear computer fan.
My computer fan's off. It's not on.
It's got computer fan.
I don't have No, I've got my... It's just a MacBook Air. There's no fan.
All right, we got two more. We'll suffer through it. It's two more. Milk and Cookies by Rob Thurman. I like this one. I thought the writing was good.
I don't even remember this one.
This one was about the young teenager who was like an orphan, and he's in the new pack, and they tell him you can't go out, and he goes out and saves the little girl from the pedophile.
Right.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was all right.
This author...
You got Milk and Cookies is the one with the Russian family of and the boy gets up against the bully.
Oh, okay. They murder.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's sad. He hates Christmas because he feels like it's never going to be good again. It's never going to be the best Christmas he ever had.
Oh, that was a good one. Okay, I forgot. Sorry, I'm mixing them up.
This one, it reminded me of the Chocolate Wars. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It also reminded me of Phoebe Cates' story in Gremlins about why she hates Christmas.
Yeah,
It had a nice Heather's attitude to it.
It did.
And this author writes a series that's not vaginal fantasy, but it's urban fantasy about two brothers. It's kind of like again, Jim Butcherish. And I remember liking the series, and I forgot about this author, so it was a nice refresher. Yeah. Okay, next one, Keeping Watch Over His Flock, was that one with the pedophile.
The pedophile one, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good too.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It didn't really do anything. It was kind of a weird one to finish on.
Yeah.
I know. I think in all in all, there just weren't enough sexy times or even romance enough in these books.
No, not at all.
It was more about Christmas and werewolves and death and revenge
and murder.
Just like Christmas. Just like what Christmas is all about, revenge and murder.
Typical Christmas.
And cookies.
And cookies. and were Santas, vampire Santas, and were coral.
Okay, just to wrap it up, since this is our last hangout of the year, Orange from the forums asks, what's your favorite vaginal fantasy book or romance book or anything romance this year? What is your favorite thing for the year? And if there's anything you're looking forward to next year?
Well, I think I already kind of said my favorite was just discovering the Kate Daniel series and being totally into it. So I love that series. That's it.
I discovered there was a series called Fortune's Pawn, which is and I was going to add it to our reading list this year, but it's a sci-fi romance, and I know that's such an iffy thing with us. We've tried several times and nothing's really hit, but this was an excellent series, and I read the whole trilogy in like a week, and that was kind of my fun discovery of the year, as well as Outlander, the series, turning out to be a good...
Super red.
Yeah, as far as vaginal fantasy, bringing it into the forefront, like a female romance being worthy of a TV show. Again, I think that was pretty good.
Whoever just got a pop-up message of some kind, it's you. Did anyone just get a message?
No.
I did.
It's you. If we can hear it, then it's you.
Who?
Who's you?
Felicia. Did you get a
No,
message?
it's not me. I didn't.
It's you. If you made the message sound, then you're the one we're hearing.
No, I didn't make a message sound. I didn't.
You just said you got a message.
No, I didn't. I said I didn't.
Mm.
I promised.
It's ghost. It's the message of Vaginal Fantasy Future.
I heard
We're
off.
going to figure this off. We're going to go offline and we're going to figure it out just for our own edification.
It doesn't matter because next month Google's going to change something else and it's going to be totally different. We're all going to have different mics.
I swear. Okay, one thing that was happening, and this is totally off topic, and we should wrap it up. But but one thing that was happening was my mic and my webcam mic were both broadcasting.
Oh, maybe that's it.
But I double checked and that was not it. Anyway, okay. Anybody else looking forward to something? Bonnie,
yes,
Tyler.
I'm looking forward to the next season of Bitten, which is that Canadian werewolf romance TV show that's based on a book series. I think the next season's gonna be on Netflix. And then I got really into Witches of East End, which I think Kyla was watching too.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a big Jane Eyre fan, so Death at Pemberley. The sequel to Jane Eyre, but it was on television and it was about a murder at Pemberley, and Darcy was accused of murder when, I'm not going to give it away, but it's on Netflix, I think. So I was really into like TV stuff, and then of all of our books, it's really hard to pick, and I'm also biased because I liked my picks this year, so I'm a big Kat Richardson fan. I love the Grey Walker series, and I'm still reading those books, so I don't know. I like them. Yeah.
Kyla, anything?
Yeah, I really got into Gina Showalter. She's like my other Cressley Cole, and you know they cross worlds sometimes, so that's really great.
Cool.
So I love it. The Lords of the Underworld series are just they're my favorite right now. So
wait, there's a crossover series? Wait,
yeah,
what's the crossover?
They cross over. She crosses over with Cressley Cole's other.
So same author, two different series?
Yeah, but they're lords of they're demon people, they're demon men, handsome, awesome men, totally cross over into to the same world. So it's really awesome. And then also I'm happy that Constantine is coming back.
Yeah.
On TV.
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Yes.
Black Mirror is really good.
Black Mirror is awesome.
On Netflix, and there's one episode that's kind of vaginal fantasy type where her husband dies, and it's Haley Atwell that's the main character, and one of the Weasley brothers, I can't remember which one, Damon Gleason or Dominic Gleason or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, her husband dies, and she orders like a real doll android.
Yeah, that's the second episode
to replace him, and I thought that would be such a great romance novel. Of something like what we would read, of if your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend died, would you have them replaced with a replicant, and the way they talk and converse is based on everything they've done on social media? So that's how they get their...
I love that.
It's a really good episode of Black Mirror.
It's not spoilery. Like, I'm not telling you the ending. It starts off like that, but just watch it and tell me what you guys think. Most of Black Mirror is disturbing, and they're each their own episode, so it's not like a story arc. It's like kind of like Twilight Zone, where it's just one episode, and that's. And they're very disturbing, but I would have to say some of them really do talk a lot about the future of romance and the future of relationships in a really weird way. So I'm interested to see
future of social media as well.
And social media and the internet and all that stuff. It's basically what could happen to us if we let technology run wild and we don't have any boundaries.
So, yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Okay, so next month we are starting a new year. We're here on a new channel. Thank you for supporting us. We're like over 6,000 subscribers now.
Yay.
And we're doing our alt vlogs. And next year we're going to be launching our podcast. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be in January or not. We're trying to figure out a good layout for the website to support the podcast, so we might be delayed a couple months, or we might do just test podcasts until then. Please follow us on Twitter for an update on that, but our intention is to start doing podcasts as soon as possible. So there's that. Next month, Downton Abbey premieres, and I'm trying to do a theme where we're doing kind of books inspired by Downton Abbey.
Oh.
So our picks, so I'm going to try to do that. So it'll feed into the podcast. So we won't, if there's something big happening that month, hopefully our book picks will be inspired about that. So the podcast can be separate, and we'll have lots to talk about separately. So the books that we are going to be discussing are called A Spear of Summergrass by Deanna Rayborn. That'll be our main. And we've read Deanna before, so I'm excited about that. And our alt, which will be reviewed by Kyla, is called The American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, they're very,
I'm very excited about that.
I know, I'm excited about these books. They look to be kind of Tony. I don't know if they're going to be trashy, but we're definitely get really trashy in February. So let's see how we enjoy
For Valentine's Day.
Yeah. All right, guys, make sure to subscribe, spread word, and participate in the forums. And thanks, Google Hangout, for providing our audience to actually have a place to chat.
Yay!
All right, Happy New Year, guys. See you later.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!